Alrighty, let's take a look-sees. I haven't watched Cuongster's JP in a minute, so... Was he always playing the character? He's not one of the ones that, like, dropped him and then picked him back up? What was that? Was that a miss on a dive kick? Yeah. And then, after the mistake, he just, I guess, walked under and then checked the landing with jabs. Basic knockdown, yeah. That's insane that that spike missed you. It's insane that the tracking made it do the vertical spike, but then it just didn't hit you. That's nuts. That you rarely see stuff like that happen. Okay, the clear shot is, like, obviously the mistake in the first part, and, you know, his propensity to, like, his certainty that you're going to drive rush, and thus his immediate drive reversal on the low forward. Now remember, anytime you see someone doing that, that's not reactable. That's a guess, okay? If you were to do low forward, drive rush, stand jab, and if you were to try to wait for the green and then drive reversal, it'd be too slow. You'd be able to block it. So anytime he does that, that is a guess on his part. Now, in this game, most characters' low forwards, even just by themselves, are guaranteed drive reversalable. But, obviously if you do, like, low forward into nothing, or Cammy has the added benefit of being able to do low forward into light spin knuckle or something, and he drive reversals that, you can get him to waste meter. Well, you don't have to. So characters, a lot of, like dedicated characters, people who play these zony types of characters, are going to be very used to this kind of being able to tell when you're going to drive rush cancel something, and then immediately drive reversaling without seeing it. But my next, like, actual complaint is, like, this part with the you know, weak jump conversion, where you could have, like, it's unnecessary, in my opinion, in this game to jump in with jump light kick unless it's, like, at or around a cross-up range. Or, in certain circumstances, jump light kick can be better against characters with DPs, because Kimmy's jump light kick has a lot of active frames, and if you get DP anti-aired by a Shoto character, it won't punish counter, it'll only counter hit your jump light kick. But against a character that doesn't have a DP like that, and in general, I also think that that's kind of a niche way to think about the game. I do think that this getting them to block, like, fat, heavy jump buttons, and if they hit and land like this, giving yourself lots of time to confirm into big damage is, like, you know, no-brainer. Okay, yeah, so a lot of the time, their default action in mid-screen after EX is just to poke with stand medium punch, or do a micro walk into, like, crouch medium kick or something, because if it tags you, it auto-combos to the rest of it. So this is one of those situations where you could... There's a number of things that are theoretically possible to do. I would specifically just put this exact scenario into the lab. It's obnoxious to lab JP's, like, EX Amnesia stuff by yourself, because it's awkward to get the CPU to input and record everything that you want, since the interaction even happening requires both players' input. But, yeah, I mean, if you've got, like, a warm body to just throw at it and lab some of these EX Amnesia situations. But, yeah. JPs are always just going to do this in mid-screen and then just mash medium punch. Because if you move from the spot that you're on or whatever, if it tags you at all, it just combos. So in these situations, it's good to, you know, be ready to, like, cancel your parry, your hold parry into a drive rush cancel to avoid or create some guesswork for the JP on coming out of this. Especially if you are underneath the portal, because if you're like directly underneath the portal, it means that his momentum will carry him angled at a direction like this, which means that if you see him teleport, you can cancel your parry into a drive rush and go generally in the opposite direction of where he's coming from, and thus avoid his attack. But yes, I would say that because of a lot of the like nerfs from Season 1 JP, I don't think it's that necessary to gamble on parries a lot of the time when you're in mid-screen, especially if you have healthy drive gauge like this. Yeah, I think it's not really needed to do so. See, like, JP is a weird character because JP players will not usually play... Like, sometimes they will do a combo conversion that specifically gets extra corner carry or something if they're near the corner. But the way JP players actually play is they just stand stationary, they maybe play a bit of footsies or approach, or they just back up, and the way they get the corner is they back up and then they generally jump over you or usually do a teleport past you while you go underneath them, and then they just side switch you and then start running back to the other corner. And so this is the kind of interaction that will happen constantly. So that the spike... The portal above you is never more dangerous as a spike than it is as a teleport. The teleport is the real problem, because it's what expands his zoning runaway game infinitely and allows him to do shit like this. So yes, I would say, my only note here is I would say it's unnecessary to parry that much against JP unless you are clearly seeing something. Like, if you're full screen and you see his ghost has not fainted and it's traveled all the way over here, like, if the ghost is clearly coming at you and it's not a fake, then you can hold parry or whatever until that block stun is done. But yeah, if it's just the portal above you, it's unnecessary. It doesn't do that much drive gauge by itself anyways. And if he tries to, like, lock you down for extra block stun and extra drive gauge damage by doing a spike after you block the portal spike, by doing a ground spike like this, you can adjust how you go handle the portal by, instead of waiting to block it, you can, before it explodes, you can like forward jump over it in an angle where it will miss you, and then the ground spike that would have hit you while blocking here, if you would forward jump, the spike will miss, you'll be here, it'll spike this way, you'll miss, and then you'll land this way, and he won't have a portal up, and you'll have avoided the drive gauge damage as well. So there are things like that you can do at long range as well. Yeah, that doesn't work. Yep. DI against Stand Fierce, Ghost does not do anything. Generally, I was actually testing this earlier today, or earlier, I think yesterday. Generally, this does not have like a clean answer. Whether or not he does the fake ghost or the real ghost. There's not like a universal answer, I think. Let's see what happened. Yeah, you got the drive gauge damage from this. Okay, now, at the risk of getting hit by a cheeky JP that will do like an EX command throw, I would generally say anytime that you see like Stand Fierce into him doing the EX flash, you can react to that and then parry the ghost afterwards. I think parry in reaction to him canceling Stand Fierce into an EX move is a pretty safe bet a lot of the time, because usually it's going to be that special. And then you can parry it and not lose the drive gauge and stuff. I don't remember off the top of my head if you can guarantee drive reversal is stand heavy punch on block. I would look into that for just specifically for these situations when you clearly felt like you had to do something to avoid burnout or commit yourself into burnout. So, I don't know if you can guarantee drive reversal that. I'll check after this. Okay, so this situation... Oh, it doesn't let me rewind after that. So, right, so these situations... So when you're in burnout, it's very rough in these spots, but, okay, so when you're in burnout, you obviously can't parry this, so you have to, like, pseudo-react, pseudo-guess to his low or overhead ghost. Now, when he does this like this, so he did low ghost and you blocked, and then I guess you mashed. Now, the thing about this is that if he does low ghost like this, he is minus. He is actually minus, even in burnout. If he does low ghost or overhead ghost in your face, he's punishable if you're not in burnout, if you block them, and if you are in burnout, he's still minus. You just got caught not taking the turn, like not pressing the button soon enough, I get. You were plus here, but you somehow lost the interaction. And in any case, if he had just blocked afterwards, then your crouch jab would have probably just gotten hit by the spike that was about to detonate anyways. So that's like a danger point. You might have attempted to throw him. I don't know if he can just walk back out of your throw range after that. It is your turn, technically, aside from the spikes. Something I would look into specifically. Yeah, another just micro, you know, clearly your opportunity. I mean, just landing those, like, 2 lights into a drive rush cancel from here would have converted him and put him all the way into the corner and given you, like, solid, like offense pressure, whatever. But, so, big opportunity loss for that, for just not confirming, like, a quick hit. Okay, here's the thing. Players like him are going to be... This is, like, something that... Weirdly enough, a lot of the, like, kind of low, like, mid-master rank players that I play against a lot of the times do this very consistently, which is checking the empty jumps with a precisely timed jab. Now, here's the thing. You can actually beat this as Cammy, or any character, really, that's empty jumping, if you don't do a throw, and instead you land and just hit stand light punch. If you land, the reason why he's winning is because throw is slightly slower and it loses on trades. Wait, you did do stand light punch. I guess you just didn't hit it fast enough. Or maybe he just happened to hit his button, like, neutral. I think you just pressed it a little late. Or didn't do it immediately, or whatever. But anyways, so yeah. That's something that, like, a lot of people are going to do, because there's technically a precise window where you can deal with jumps. You can block at the last moment that a jump could hit you, and then still hit, like, a 4-framer. And if it's done literally frame perfect, you'll be able to block the jump, but trade with them doing empty jump 4-framer. And if they don't do it frame perfect, if your empty jump 4-framer will win. Now, generally, this is done because it's very consistent against empty jump throw. It blocks the jump in, and it deals with empty jump throw. So, doing just empty jump... Now, one thing that characters that jump a lot do necessarily in a situation like this is... one option that you do have is just doing a later jump than you normally would if you're worried about a perfect parry anti-air. Then you can still get some offense going. For instance, Cammy can do like a late jump medium punch, and she can even cancel it into dive kick, which is like this goofy thing. You can mess around with that at your own discretion, but basically, empty jump into immediate 4-frame stand jab, or doing late jump buttons, and also one thing that some players like Knuckle and stuff do, which is empty jump, and then if they see that the opponent isn't going to anti-air them, but also not going to perfect parry, and they're probably going to check the landing frames on the ground like this, Knuckle will straight up just do empty jump EXDP on landing. And it's actually, like, against people who reliably check your landings, it's actually a lot more consistent than you would think. I have to do it with Terry a lot, because Terry's cross-up jump buttons are terrible, and constantly whiff, so I just forward jump over people, then EXDP on landing, to stop them from checking me. Okay, yeah, so there's a lot of, like, stuff like this in JP's kit, which is, like, you can't immediately do, like, a thing like a dash, because, yeah, a lot of the times it'll be caught. The boring the boring reality is that the safest thing to do is, like, mostly just walk around and, like, kind of plan out your approach a bit longer, and just try to stop JP from gaining more space, or, like, getting some cheeky teleport approaches in the meantime. I don't know what this is. This looks like something weird. Goofy. I've never seen that before. That specific sequence. So yeah, I mean, a lot of it is just the reality of, like, his offense is very layered and very structured, and so he doesn't need to hit you that many times to kill you. Or you don't need to guess wrong that many times. And a lot of his offense is like, see, again, medium, that's not a reaction, that's a guess. He's like, this guy's at full drive gauge, he did a medium, he's gonna drive rush, I'm just gonna drive reversal. So yeah, mixing in some cancels into light spin knuckle instead will allow you to steal some of his drive gauge in the meantime. Although it won't necessarily... If you want to actually punish his drive reversal, you'll have to do other weirder stuff. Or hope that he just does it a little slow. Yeah, I would just put this in the lab. This and, like, Ed's as well. Ed's jumping medium kick and JP's jump medium punch. Ed's is a lot more dangerous. Of just, like, get the exact spacing of this so that you know when you need to not run into it. Okay, that I think is a much better space to forward jump at. As you can see, you did get the parry that you wanted, the parry anti-air. So if you had just reacted instead of, like, you know, doing your thing that you did to, like, walk back into the shimmy, if you just landed and been like, he's not gonna walk forwards and throw me after this, so I'll just land and see what happens. If he does a late anti-air, if he does nothing, whatever, and then punish his action. It's important to not get too ahead of yourself, because, like, you did the empty jump and you got what you wanted, but then you didn't wait to see if you got what you wanted. Okay, let's see what happened here. So this crouch medium punch, yeah, I mean, that's... Yeah, I would recommend, against someone who drive reversals a lot, against drive rushes, I would recommend, yeah, sticking to just drive rushing into jabs and not anything else. And then, yeah, stand medium punch like that is fine. I think against characters like this, it's a good thing to, like... Again, he doesn't have a low that he can cancel. Remember that. This is not a character. His walk speed isn't that great. His dash is, like, fine, but whatever. You can get closer to him without feeling uncomfortable on your approach, which means that you can harass and attack his drive gauge more with stuff like stand heavy kick, with stuff like cancels into spin knuckle, etc. Fast spin knuckles that are hard to react to. On block to just, like, chip away at his drive gauge and, like, get into a scrappy close range that benefits you. Okay, in this circumstance, bit of an awkward conversion. So you did these. Now, in this circumstance, you're not close enough to the corner for me to agree that EX drill is the right combo choice. I think, like, better off here would have just been doing a drive rush cancel or just doing a regular knockdown into medium spiral into, like, regular Oki or drive rush Oki or whatever. Because this doesn't really give you anything and you're still in mid-screen. Alright, that's good. Okay, so these players, right, they're also going to be more aware of the go-to, like, the easy meaties that characters have. For instance, Cammy has a lot of easy auto-timed meaties into crouch fierce in the corner, and so those are places where they're more liable to perfect parry. Yeah, so again, they'll all kind of do this. At your discretion, Burnout is super annoying against JP if you're in the corner, or in other circumstances if he can do a lot of chip damage or something, or if he has level 2. But in other cases, Burnout is, like, not the worst thing against JP. There are much worse characters to get Burnout against, just based on their regular toolkit. So I would say in some situations like this... Now, I will say, you have not... Now, this is, like, only the second match I've watched of you, but you have not EXDP'd him on Wake Up yet. And, you know, I mean, like... Cammy being in the corner and EXDPing out of the corner is, like, top 10 anime betrayals type of fucking... Like, you know, you don't have to overthink the things that are broken about the character. Cammy side switch EXDPing is just broken, so... So yeah, there's also not a lot of convenient cancels off of this target combo that JP will go into. If he does go into, like, one of the ghosts or something, it's not going to be legit. There's, you know, gaps available, so... But if you really wanted to, in this particular circumstance, off of stand heavy kick, this is a guaranteed drive reversal point if you wanted to drive reversal him. The punch afterwards is not, because he could cancel it into the teleport. But if you block the stand heavy kick, it is a guaranteed drive reversal point, and I think... Actually, I'll have to double check that and come back and make sure that this is accurate, but I believe it is a guaranteed drive reversal point, and if it is, hitting him with a drive reversal gets rid of his portal, because it counts as damage towards him. It's the same with Bison's bombs. If Bison's bomb is on you and he does back heavy kick on block, that's a guaranteed drive reversal against Bison, and it also, it immediately gets the bomb off you, because it counts as damage to Bison. Another obvious error. On a clear, like, not like a strong situation, but like landing this and getting a combo into mid-screen would have really helped you. You're still probably fucked because he has level 2, but you would have had like a real shot of killing him if you had not done that DP. I mean, I'm not going to say that, like, there's not things that you can do against that, but realistically, well, practically, there's other parts that are more reasonable to play against the video game. A little surprised that was -4. As for against his zoning specifically... Okay, in something like this, when he throws a full ghost at you like this one, I'm pretty sure you can just forward jump. Again, I'll have to like re-look at. I don't fight a lot of JPs, so I'm not really experienced. I would definitely ask Cuongster a lot about like the zoning patterns and stuff, but I'm pretty sure without a portal in front of you, if a ghost travels full screen, I'm pretty sure you can just forward jump over it safely. Yeah, again, I mean, you know, like, these guys are, like obviously top-tier players, but they're also, like, you know, they still bleed. This is a game where anyone fucking bleeds, so, you know, you can just, you know, kill them. Try not to be, like, obvious, but you don't want to be timid. And, yeah, the one thing is that, like, scenarios like this, like, I could say, oh, like, this was your mistake, but it's really just a matter of, like, the fact that he was anticipating it, and the adaptation that you need to make as a player against this is less to do with not having this occur in the first place, and more a matter of, I mean, it may be the case that that's the case because a lot of your approaches so far in this match have been through the air. You've done several dive kicks and stuff, and you've not done a ton of approaching on the ground without having like full drive gauge near round start when he drive reversals your mediums into drive rush cancel. So there's you know, maybe a statement to say that like there's an aspect to your approach that's repeatedly going to the air in a predictable way, but I would say that this is not a matter of this representing a mistake on your end, but things like this, like hard reactions when the opponent is specifically looking for one thing with a specific thing that will counter it really, really well, those will simply happen, and your adaptations are more a matter of how quickly you then you reverse the tides on them afterwards. So again, you had high drive gauge. That's not a reaction, it's a total prediction. He's just like, he's going to drive rush cancel off of his mediums. That EXDP. Okay, but then he just jumped out on the walk up. But it's not the worst scenario. Okay, yeah. So against a lot of these, it's going to be very... These players are like very consistent at like punishing landing frames, and it's extremely necessary to, you know, not press a jump button unless it will yield something. Yeah, that was good. I like that forward jump. Threaten some approach, change your spacing a little bit. Damn, that was a nice punish. So there's a couple things. There's like quite a high number of like your own just personal mistakes here, but and there's a couple matchup things and just like tendency things, you know, abusing certain tools versus not abusing them. Again, as soon as you did crouch medium kick, my brain was like, the same thing's gonna happen. He's gonna drive rush cancel and get drive reversaled. No coverage of the jump. That was nice. Yeah, but then you were a little hezzy, like not fast enough on your button, but also not a delayed enough button for a delay. And then you didn't pick up the counter hit on that spin knuckle. So you got in. I mean, that was plus frames. That was plus frames off of that. And then off of this scenario, that's plus 7. Plus 7 on counter hit. And then no combo. Then you did get a successful drive rush. Yeah. His play is going to be very risk averse. He's going to have a lot of like little option selects coverage to like cover certain aspects of his defense, but generally speaking, he's not going to take many risks. Give you big openings a lot of the time. See, like this is a testament to like his lack of giving you openings. It's like he didn't even react or do anything to you whiffing that button there, because he didn't decide that, you know, he was within, and he didn't want to get baited into like an okie doke scenario where you like whiff and then just mash out a wish punish buffer or whatever, like often happens in this game. Okay, that indicated, like, the snappiness of him getting counter hit like that indicated that he was totally looking for that. He just messed up. Like, he was looking for the air approach, but, and he tried something. He definitely was, that was what his snap reaction was, and he just messed up. So, that, you got a lucky hit, but it also tells you where his brain is at right now. And then, again, no pickup on the combo. There's, like most you got like 3 or 4 combo hits that were not picked up in only this round. Or 2 or 3, rather. Was that a drive reversal? Let me look at your inputs. I don't know what that was. Okay, whatever. I don't know. He didn't even take the corner carry. Okay, yeah, so that's... I would just also put this into the lab, practice blocking his, like, snaps. The awkward part is just, like, you have to kind of stare at JP's, like... JP's body and mannerisms to be able to react to some of his, like, zoning snap animations as fast as possible. Yeah, I would just, like, again, put these into training mode and just stare at some of these animations, especially this one. Stare at that animation, stare at his ground spike animation, that. And stare at his teleport animation. Like the earliest frames of startup for the animations, so that you can see them as fast as possible. Yeah, counter hit. Just control the frame trap. So, see, like, these players, they're, like, they don't play, like, particularly loose. Most of what they do is pretty frame tight. Like, when they do something that's plus, they take a very simple frame trap or whatever, direct, very few gaps. And then again, coverage on the empty jump. Like I said, players like this are going to be... There are certain players that, like, their tendency when you empty jump is to cover it with a delayed jab. Now, JP, this is an important point. Both times that he did this... Okay, you empty jumped here. This is a very important point. Both times that you empty jump, he covered it with stand jab. Now, the reason why that's important for your empty jump... Again, he beat you for empty jump throw. But if you did empty jump jab, like just stand jab, here's why. Because JP's stand jab is 6 frame startup. He does not have a standing button. It's very awkward and obnoxious for a character to, like, do a standing block to avoid the jump in, but then literally a frame later convert to, like, a crouch jab or something. Because if they do it too early, they'll just eat a full jump in by crouching too early. But because he's doing stand jab, it's way too slow to stop you doing empty jump stand jab. So if you did just land jab, it would beat him. Again, JP, his standing lights are stand jab, which is 6 frames, and stand light kick, which is 5 frames, and doesn't, like, have a rapid cancel. So that's why he's using the slower one. But it is fallible. It has a weakness. And that would not be... that. Like, the fact that JP's stand jab is 6 frames is a unique weakness to him that will make it easier for you to do empty jump jab to beat him and stop him from defending his against the landing frames. But it is true that, like, most characters can cover your empty jump approaches by doing a slight delay stand jab when you land. Okay, let's see what happened here. You did another drive rush cancel. Okay, this time, I think just for variety's sake, he just didn't drive reversal it, even though it would have worked again. Okay, you tried to tick crouch light kick. It looked pretty quick. No, that was a delay. A little delay crouch light kick, then a walk up. So again, that's like a major difference that, like, you can see between your play and his play, is that a lot of his stuff is not too eager for the hits, you know? Like, when he does something that's a basic plus frames, he does a very simple, straightforward, immediate mix, and then he kind of does, like, frame-tight stuff with very few gaps. And then, yeah, and then after he has some assumptions about your play, then he will make bold assumptions like that. Like a full stealing 1,000,000 frames into an overhead. Because the confidence is worth more than the actual risk-reward management. But, like, little hezzy stuff like this, like little crouch light kick and stuff, is just... It works against players that don't have as thorough of a coverage of, like, their option selects and their rotation of defensive tools. Instead, like, it's much more of reality to just say, when you come in like this with the +2, like, screw this, like, you know, little tricky stuff like, the, like, crouch light kick into a walk-up. It's like, logically speaking, if the player is, like, inputting their delay jabs and their delay techs, like, frame tight and stuff, it's pretty shit. It's, like, not... But, like, the fact is that when you come in with this +2, you have a true, legitimate mix that he has to guess on. You have strike, throw, or shimmy, and you can iron it down to that and force that situation. Because if you do stuff like this, he will cover it. He will cover it relatively reliably. Not 100% of the time. Anything he does has a weakness, obviously. Any delay jab could get counter hit by some notion, but generally he will cover those situations like 60, 65 to 70% of the time. And if you try to do something that's not just true ironclad guessing, forcing mix... That was good, but the conversion was not good, obviously. Yeah, see there? Let me look at his inputs. I'm pretty sure he probably would have covered you a stand jab again here. Okay, he actually didn't. He saw that you did a full jump, and he was just going for throw. Okay, what happened here? Because you did like a light string, and then you weren't close enough for 3? Yeah. Oh, you had another hit? Okay, that's fine. Okay, and tragic mistake. Let me see how quickly he inputted this. You did a little delay before, like, walking backwards, and I can't see in this, like, frame data thing, it doesn't tell me exactly, like, what frame he was on Wake Up. Yeah, it doesn't really... I can't tell exactly how many frames he was on Wake Up before he inputted the throw. I'm assuming this was just your mistake, and not that he did some sort of weird early throw. I think he did not check that because you put yourself in burnout, and it made it, like... The grayscale over the DI makes it harder to see the red of the DI. Yeah, that's just a guess. In terms of avoiding burnout, let's go back to this, like, total round and, like, look at the drive gauge of the whole round. So, in terms of avoiding burnout, it's fine. That was good blocking the overhead. In terms of avoiding... So, again, bad conversion. In terms of avoiding the corner carry... So yeah, a lot of your immediate situations like this, your playstyle does not like always like force the mix in the positions where the mix is most true. Like right here, he has to guess strike, throw, or shimmy. But then you kind of like do like a little stagger thing, or you often go strike a lot of the time, or like little stutter steps like that. So again, you are mostly punished here because of this mistake of getting back thrown into the corner. And then another mistake here. Now again, I generally think that, I don't know, I still think you can afford to EXDP more than you currently do. as my own personal... Because, like, you're basically... With this health lead, you're not dead if you eat this punish counter throw on that, but, like... You're kind of liable to be dead quite soon afterwards. Because, yeah. No, it's mostly because of this hit. It was still a competitive round, but after this point, you're basically dead. I can't believe that was a punish again. Damn. I'd love to think those are at least -3, but... So again, when it's like this, like when you're totally like full screen and the ghost comes all the way over the screen, I am like quite confident you can safely forward jump over them, and he can't like cover that space immediately afterwards. Wait, what was that? He did a commitment to a drive reversal here. Oh, on a roundhouse. It's kind of random. Maybe it's guaranteed, but he did it a little late. Strange choice. Level 1. That was the absolute correct combo, by the way. Perfect choice. Let me see. What was it? Yeah, that was a perfect choice. Yep. So again, now, I was gonna say that, like, I think, okay, so, on your offense, some of your offense needs to be a little bit trickier to deal with some of these defensive techniques that the opponents will use at, like, a super high level. Because, like... If you throw on his EX Amnesia or on his backdash, either one, he'll be able to... Okay, that could have been a lot worse for you, because he should have done crouch jab, back medium punch target combo level 2, and then side switched you for the... and then gone into a corner setup. Ooh, interesting. It's interesting that he neutral jumped there. I wonder what his thought process for that neutral jump was. I mean, JP just has a generally strong neutral jump, especially with jump medium punch, so I guess I understand. Oh, you know what I bet it was? He's looking for dive kick. That's what that neutral jump was for. He was expecting a dive kick right in your face to re-engage, and he was going to land on it and punish it. I'd probably know that and be like more aware of people doing that if I actively played Cammy. Alrighty. I was trying to think of what are the reasons I neutral jump against Cammy. Oh yeah, dive kick. I forgot about that. Okay, yeah. So, one thing is that he is not giving you low forward. Like he refuses to like walk backwards in a way that will allow you to open him up low and stuff. Which means that his positioning is a bit more stationary. But like every time when he's there, he's quite confident about either taking the throw or properly defending against you if you do approach for the throw. And he has his eyes glued to the air approach. Now, a couple things that you can do against someone who's like turtling like this, you can harass their drive gauge with heavy kick or heavy punch or cancels into spin knuckle or whatever. You can do this, which was beautifully done. Yeah, so one thing is that, like, he's going to be wary. You see, like, he could have done any of those buttons into drive rush cancel, because he has, like, plenty of drive gauge. Like, not plenty, but, like, he'd be fine relatively on drive gauge if he did a drive rush cancel, but he's wary of the same thing that he was doing to you, which is, if he always cancels a good button into drive rush cancel every time, you're just going to drive reversal him and get the corner knocked down. So he's, like, doing a variety of other things. He's trying to space out with that jump medium punch to stall for time as well. Now he has full drive gauge. Okay, and now he's going to teleport. Yeah, and he did. As soon as he gets that out, as soon as the portal's behind you, it's like, oh, fuck. So anyways, so yeah, in this corner offense sequence right here, as you can see, he tried to tap parry in expectation of you doing something else. Yeah. Again, I have not fought enough JP, so you would have to ask Cuongster what, like, the best approach against JP in the corner is, because, like, it kind of is just a matter of time until he escapes the corner, and so I would ask Cuongster if, like, the best approach would be to smother him or do a lot of offense to him while he's in the corner, or if it's more about control and stopping him from using any of his tools that will allow him to escape, or, you know, what he thinks the right means of eking reward out of the situation is. I'd also look at this hitbox. I'd look at his stand medium punch and some of his hitboxes, just see what buttons are more reliable. It seems like low forward's not getting the job done right here, so. So yeah, when he gets this teleport set up exactly like here, EX with one far behind you, I am not certain what I think the right response here is. I kind of think that the right option is just to walk backwards until you're out of range of this first spike, and so that you're underneath this one, and also kind of far away from him, and then if he does teleport, do neutral jump light kick, and then if he teleports from this one, neutral jump light kick will knock him down and put him back into the corner. Let's see, what happened here? This was an unnecessary hit. Yeah. Nah, whatever. It's dead. What did he hit you? Just like a random stray... Oh, wow. Oh, they hit you out of dive kick. Right, okay. Again, no combo completion on the counter hit. Now, one thing you can do as Cammy, even after you drive rush and you see that you're drive rushing straight into a ghost, is you can cancel your drive rush into Hooligan and get airborne and get over the ghost. Because the ghosts can't hit you once you're in an airborne state. They're kind of chill after that. What did you hit him with? Right, that into that. Yeah, that's the more or less the that's the proper combo. Okay, that was just him being confident about the double dash. He knew. He was sure you were going to do something after this double dash. Yep, that's fine. Yeah, that's good, Ethan. A common thing JP players will do, you'll have to, again, ask Cuongster what his methodology for some of these corner mixes or pressure sequences with JPR, but a lot of them do this EX thing into immediate teleport. It's acceptable. Nice. Should kill. Come on. Nice. -oo. Again, the DI combo in the corner is stand heavy punch, spiral arrow, uppercut. The spiral arrow that you do, the strength of spiral arrow depends on whether the DI hit or was blocked. If it's on block, they don't get wall splatted as high on the wall, and you have to do spiral arrow light, or heavy punch, light spiral arrow, uppercut, and if it was on hit, you do medium spiral arrow, uppercut. You do have to do the correct one. If you do light when the medium is required, the combo will just completely fuck up. What a goofy looking combo. Let's see what this was. Late parry and just, yeah. Nice-oo. Okay. Alright. First thing, practice what you're going to do after a backdash here on a throw, because you had, like, perfect opportunity for a level 1 side switch combo. And instead you did this, which is much, much, much worse. Okay, I zoned out for a second. Oof. Yeah, again, just blocking instead of parrying those spikes is so much less bad than, like, parrying but he actually teleported. Generally, I think it's important to just, against JP, to, like, manage your drive gauge just in such a way that you can afford to block and not parry the majority of his random bullshit. Nice pickup. Okay, this is just a matter of, like, button interactions and stuff. Because, like, he's doing very specific things to contest your approach. He's trying to zone out with his farthest poke tools, neutral jump, jump medium punch, and his buttons with, like, hitbox superiority, or hitbox, hurtbox superiority, like stand fierce. That also conveniently auto-confirm into full combos. I would say look for something in Cammy's toolkit that is more reliable against his jump medium punch, so that he can't just keep spacing you out like this. You don't have to guaranteed anti-air him, you just have to make sure that you anti-air in a way that is safe in case he doesn't do jump medium punch. So I would say you can probably anti-air him with back medium punch, but just like from quite far away. Just input the back medium punch, and if he empty jumps, it's fine. That was close. It's fine. Now, I'll note that, like, off of all of these, like, jump-ins, immediate jump-ins, you've rarely done throw and basically never done a shimmy so far. Now, I don't think Cuongster is a player who's going to tech a lot until he's forced to, or he's just quite confident in, you know, your shift up of the offense or a specific knockdown tendency to throw, but as you can see, like, tit for tat, you do, like, stand heavy punch and a spin knuckle, and he only, like, pokes you with a single crouch medium punch. Those interactions are winning for you. That's success. That was punishable, by the way. Those cannot be done that close. That was nice. That was a good mash out on the reset. To be honest, there was an earlier situation where I thought about suggesting level 2, but I wasn't sure it would work, so it's good to know. Yeah. As you can see, his style of play is one in which he mostly commits to non-drive gauge intensive things, except for like his EX portals and stuff he uses for zoning. But a lot of his button interactions, he's just doing single pokes and stuff to like control space and threaten, but he does it in a way that like adjusts the way that you come at him in response, and that's how he can have the confidence to know that your footsies game has adjusted to like a more confident approach because you're not worried about his individual pokes, and you know you have the buttons that can contest him, and that's why the few times where he does do a button canceled in a drive rush are so consistently on hit and almost rarely on block. Also because he just has very tight situational awareness and reactions to see, like, to tell when something's going to be on hit. Nice. That's good. It's fine. I can't believe he tried to parry there. That's surprising. It's not like Cammy has a solid meaty there. Okay, yeah, so like I said way earlier when he did like the air throw on your dive kick, like things like this that just reverse your situation are going to happen. But like the important thing to do on your end is to like know how to do the same thing in reverse, you know? Just do the same thing back to him. Like look for specific things, specific openings for which you're preparing a response that will get you out of the corner, or just playing to get out of the corner. Like, you've not taken a jump out of the corner so far in any of these sets when you've been put into the corner. I don't think so. If I'm misremembering, then you can you ignore me. But Cuongster has certainly done even just raw jumps out of the corner. That was nice blocking. Yeah, see, this is the thing that I was going to recommend you do earlier when I saw Cuongster do like the wake up backdash. Is I was like, one thing that's really good about that is either sit in throw range or right outside of throw range, and then just do a delay button or 2 buttons into drive rush. And that will cover a variety of options without being wary to like invincible wake-ups or whatever else. And it gets into the more complex defensive options. Alright, let's hit the lab really quick. Shit. Because I wanted to specify, or I wanted to test a couple of things, my own curiosity. Oh, come on. Okay, first thing, I said earlier that JP's stand heavy punch may or may not be guaranteed drive reversible. It is. Now, technically a JP player could... Now, if he has a portal up... No, wait, that's not the... What's the teleport input? Is it light? Yeah. Then he can avoid it. So beware of teleport for drive reversal and stuff, but... And technically speaking, he could also do, like, something like that. And beat it, but nobody's gonna do that. Nobody does that. That's not a real thing that JP players would do. But anyways, the other things I wanted to test is that in, like, this range, if JP just randomly does this versus this versus this, and he does all of them, yeah, that's what I thought. You can do this and cover in case he does it. I don't think there's anything you can do off of this. Yeah, I don't think there's anything special you can do with it. You can also, from far away, cover the approach with that. It's an option. Anything that, like... If he's too far away, he can't really, like, whiff punish your anti-air, so... Oh, yeah. A really quick thing I wanted to mention to you that is relevant to most characters is, EX Amnesia. If you do, like, a meaty like that, that still leaves you plus after the amnesia. So if you do, like, the full meaty crouch fierce, that's, like, +2. Or if you just do, like, a medium punch or something, or a light on it, then you're plenty plus. Then you can try to forward throw him, and that will get you out of it. But if he just blocks, then the way that you can deal with this... So let's say... He does it on a meaty crouch fierce like that, and you're +2. So if you throw him successfully... God damn it. I hate this animation. You can do that. But if you do anything else, they will explode and hit you. You can neutral jump and land and still block it, which means that you can jump and then EXDP if he tries to hit you. And if it's not blocked... So you can, like, jump and EXDP, and that will go through it as well. So you can forward jump, EXDP, etc. Just an option available to you, so that you're aware. But more importantly, if he's forced to block you, one thing that you can do is you can do moves that will mess up the AI's, like, tracking. You can do things that mess with the tracking of those whatever... I believe characters with air throws have an option here. I've seen some tech of this. Again, I've not labbed this super thoroughly. I'm pretty sure characters with air throws have a way of making them miss the character. But anyways, the thing that I am much more familiar with the characters that I play is if you do special moves that move your character horizontally forwards like that, it fucks with the tracking. See how only one of them hit me? So you can do, if you're plus, if you do stand fierce spin knuckle. It'll lock him into block stun. It'll explode. Only one of them will hit you. And if I have him try to pick up this combo, right? So do this and then try to pick up the combo with, let's say, EX Triglav, right? After blocking 2 hits. Wait. Different. Okay, this EX Triglav. Okay, so he can pick it up with EX, but only from, like, the heavy scaling that comes from the amnesia, and that's it. And he can't side switch off of this, which is the most important thing. Which, even if you block it, he can still side switch by jumping out or throwing you, but if you do this, you can lock him into block stun. Only one of them hits you. It's not worth it for him to combo off of this unless he does a raw level 3, which he can do, technically. Oh, wait, shit. Wait, is that correct? Oh, right, I forgot to give him level 3. So he can pick that up with a raw level 3 or EX Triglav, but, like, that's it. Also, I would imagine that most JP players are not used to these scenarios happening, because they implicitly rely on the tracking for his bombs to not work the way that they're supposed to, and for one of them to miss you. So anyways, but the other thing I was going to say is that when you backdash a throw in the corner as Cammy, the default combo is stand jab, back roundhouse, because they're guaranteed to be standing if they whip to throw, drive rush stand fierce, heavy drill, level 1. That's the default. This is a top tier side switch combo. So anyways, those are my observations. Let's go back to watching. Yeah, I think I already saw this one. I guess I watched more than I thought I did. Go down 2 more, it doesn't really matter. I'm not gonna watch all of these, I don't think. Ah, my back. Okay, gotta pick up that time. Probably would have been worth it to corner him fully with another drive rush cancel, but, you know, that's your own discretion. Okay, no conversion and pickup off of that. Yeah, a lot of too close dive kicks, or just generally misplaced, because you've had some whiff dive kicks as well. Oh, I forgot to test if his roundhouse by itself is guaranteed drive reversible, like I said it was. Okay, remember, when you do it off of this target combo, and you go into... Okay, 2 notes. The first note is, you did the heavy hooligan, you're supposed to do medium here. If you do the heavy, any neutral techs, your Cammy will go over, will corpse hop him, and you won't be able to land the overhead. So yeah, medium is the proper one. There's no issues with medium. It just works perfectly. But other than that, remember that when you do hooligan off of this target combo, the slide will land like 2 frames meaty, which means that you don't have to pick it up with uppercut. You can actually pick it up with spiral arrow. You can do medium spiral arrow here. In fact, you can do level 1 here if you wanted to. Might have been worth it. You're close enough. If you're past the midpoint of the stage, which, like, right here is, like, the midpoint, right? If you're past the midpoint of the stage, that means that Cammy's level 1 will corner. Nice. Now, I will say, like, my only thing is that, like, you won several neutral interactions by doing more mediums into drive rush cancels, and again, like, if he thinks that you're going to consistently do those into drive rush cancels all the time, he's just going to drive reversal even more consistently, so as you can see, you just blocked, like, both of those EX hits, and how much drive gauge damage did it do? Oh, nothing. Barely any. Less than, like, blocking a medium. Yeah, they really, from Season 1, they really nerfed JP's fucking drive gauge damage stuff. Okay, again, I would keep it simple off of here. Just, like, either immediately mix him or do, like, standing medium punch and look for a counter hit or whatever. Or do, like, low forward, light spin knuckle or whatever. Okay, now, when he does perfect parry against dive kick, that is also probably not a pure reaction. That's also probably an assumption, and if you empty jump or just regular forward jump at, like, spacings where you feel like you should dive kick, just mix it up a little bit into... Now, one thing that we've talked about before, but I've still never seen you do, is intentionally shallow dive kicks. Like, being at about this distance and doing a forward jump, and then dive kicking shallowly so that his anti-air whiffs. It's more applicable to some characters than others, but it should work against JP. So again, another neutral jump, probably an expectation of, again, a dive kick. I highly doubt he's expecting those forward heavy kicks, because, like, nobody uses forward heavy kick, so. Also just because, again, JP is a neutral jump character that's cheap as hell. Nice level 3. And again, like, all the supers that you've landed, again, just tell me that, like, you could EXDP when you're in the corner more often. You know, if you die, you die. I mean, it's, like, fine, but... Like, having an EXDP punished is not that much worse than just getting shimmied a single time, you know, in terms of overall damage output and value and stuff. Unless the meter that you spend on the EXDP puts you near burnout. Which can be an issue, but I think he could have killed there. I always try to stay vigilant and up to date on understanding the kill combos. I will say, you have never, so far in any of these matches I've watched, you've never done a strike here. Specifically on this Oki, I don't think you've ever done a stand medium punch or like a jab sequence. I want to see what his input was when you did dive kick. Okay, he did a delay jab just on, I guess, whatever. That's fine. Could be worse. Okay, it's fine. It's dead. Why did I say that's fine? I was looking at the wrong super gauge. I thought he didn't have level 2. I actually was looking at the wrong health bar. But anyways. Yeah. See, exactly. That's good. Okay, that could have been a drive rush cancel, which is totally worth it when you're at full drive gauge, even if it wasn't the difference between not getting in the corner and the corner. Yeah. I'm not familiar with all interactions for which, like, what buttons are safe or not safe to EX Amnesia. Lab those yourself. Another teleport. Again, I would also lab those situations. Like I said, an important thing to go into the training mode, just create some of these scenarios that, like, are reactable if you just wait for them. So if you just sit there and he does teleport, I'm absolutely certain you can anti-air with something. But you'll just have to practice that scenario, reacting to it and executing what and figuring out what is a safe anti-air to do. This is a sick pickup. Okay, yeah, I was just in my head thinking, I don't think back medium punch would work because of how the angle works. Yeah. Okay, now keep in mind, like, he is not going to, like, think of, like, all the play that he's done so far. One, he has rarely ever anti-aired you with Crouch Heavy Punch, okay? And two, Crouch Heavy Punch is not even a bad thing to get anti-aired by, because he gets no immediate Oki off of it. It just kind of knocks you back to mid-screen, and he can kind of cancel it into, like, a projectile or something. So, doing full jumps that force him to anti-air with, like, either a jump throw, which, you know, is threatening if he can corner you with it, or just make him... Because, like, his punishes on your dive kicks, like his perfect parries and your dive kicks or things like that, are actually hurting you more than just getting regularly anti-aired by Crouch Fierce would be. So you can afford to, especially... He's very conditioned by your frequency of dive kick. I don't think he would Crouch Heavy Punch until you did, like, quite a few more normal jumps. Again, bad combo. Could have gotten a lot more. With the amount of drive gauge, I would say spending drive gauge would be worthwhile. Drive rush cancel, back roundhouse, etc. Nice. Yeah. Also, this is hard, and I would practice this a lot. This is like one of those actually quite necessary skills to practice for Cammy, unfortunately, is precisely landing this stand medium punch, meaty, the manual meaty timing, and then recognizing whether you're +7 or +8 and converting into stand fierce or crouch strong accordingly. Again, if you just mix in a couple, like I said, light spin knuckles, I think would really fuck with, like, some of the autopilot ways that he's, like, the tools he's using to deal with you. Alright, that's fine. Hey, look at that! You took less damage because he wasn't sure what combo to do. See? It's not that bad. I think that was supposed to be a reset into the overhead. Actually, I'm not sure, because this looks like an intentional combo. And also, I'm pretty sure he could have killed. What? This game is silly. This is a silly video game. Beautiful. See, there you go. Okay, but as we did talk about, if you're not at a distance where you need to spend level 1, this combo is not ever optimal. The back roundhouse combo. Again, if you're at mid-screen, optimal is, again, it's very simple. If you're, like, the middle of the stage or closer to the corner, optimal is just drive rush, crouch fierce, stand fierce, target combo, spiral arrow. He's quite close to level 2, but... Yikes. Hell, I mean, if you just mashed out a level 2, it would have worked again. And yeah. Yeah. Same shit. Oops. I think you let go of the parry. I'm assuming you let go of the parry because you were worried about getting thrown, but then after letting go of the parry, you were blocking like low instead of jumping. But luckily he didn't convert from that. And again, this is one of those things that I'm like talking about where it's like, after you get a jump in on block, you have successfully gotten in, you are forcing mix, you have done like strike almost every time, you've done almost no throws, and more importantly, you've never done like a shimmy or like an immediate crouch fierce to catch a delay tech. Which he is doing after those. He did delay tech there. So it's just like the holistic, like any opportunity that you have for true guessing, you got to make sure that you're representing all the guessing, because that's like the whole ball game right there. That's like that was your shot to like kill him. Oh, almost got the counter hit confirmed. And again, little stutter step, got caught by his delay jab. Auto option select. And again, it is funny. One thing that you can do is, when you play against players who are very, very consistent at drive reversaling your drive rush cancels under certain scenarios, like this, which is like round start, this has happened like so many times, you can just hard like call it out, like drive rush into nothing, specifically don't hit an input, just do the drive rush cancel and then pump the level 1 and then level 1 blow through it, and then you'll put them all the way to the corner. Generally speaking, most characters don't have to rely on doing something like that, because again, every time he does these drive reversals, it is a guess. It's not a reaction. He's just assuming you're going to drive rush cancel. But, so generally most characters don't have to do it, because drive reversal isn't that good. And there's other ways of beating it. But, some characters, like, Marisa players are the only ones that I've seen, multiple of them, that like do stuff like Marisa's forward heavy kick drive rush, and then they input nothing and then just wait to react to the drive reversal with a super. So I'm not saying you have to do that, but it's cool. Coolness has to count for something. Is that a combo? That's supposed to be a combo? I don't know. I feel like I would remember if that was a combo. Damn. Okay, what happened to your drive gauge again? I have to like look every time. Okay. The first spin was obvious, it was this one, and then what happened to the drive gauge after that? Right. Unnecessary parry. I noticed that you did that earlier, but I didn't say anything. I noticed that you were trying to do like a parry pseudo option select. There's no real option select there for dealing with that situation, and it's not worth trying. it's totally unnecessary. Like, the ghost is not that bad on block anyways. Just block it. If the ghost projectile comes out fully, just block it. If you're quite confident that he's going to commit to the follow-up, then you can try perfect parrying it, but again, you'll have to practice that specific situation. But yeah, that's like, this kind of thing of like doing a delay parry into drive rush is very easily covered by the JP player. And this is mainly what killed your drive gauge for this round. Okay, so off of here, for instance, if you had blocked this, it would have been worth it to, in my opinion, because he could like guarantee drive gauge kill you after this point, it would have been worth it to... Okay, two things are true. One, if you had done a wake up super here, you would have burnt him out. Because it would have hit and he would have gotten into burnout. Two, if you had blocked this heavy kick and then drive reversal, it'd be a guaranteed drive reversal because he can't special cancel the heavy kick into the teleport to avoid it. And then you would burn yourself out and he would have his level 2, but you would also be able to threaten him with burnout as well because he's also quite low. And you'd be able to have a little bit more screen space, but it would still be a really bad situation. I don't think the situation gets any better by taking this hit, though, is the problem here. I think, like, your options here would have either been gamble with a super, block it and then drive reversal, gamble by parrying on wake up, because if you had parried and he had done this, then you would have built a lot of drive gauge back. So gambling with a parry may or may not have been the most, I don't know, risk-reward comprehensive option. I would probably ask Cuongster, like, in his opinion as a JP player, what he finds most obnoxious to deal with on defense, and then do whatever that is. But yeah, you avoided the burnout, but you took a lot of damage. Was that in expectation that he was going to do cancel the lights into Shibog? Probably, or whatever the special is. That could have been DP. And that was a clutch. That was vital. Okay, you're dead. I'm not even going to watch the rest of it. I was hearing from people that... Oh, wow. Standing medium kick. I don't think he wanted to do that. I don't think he wanted to do that on standing medium kick. I don't know. I could be wrong. JP kind of... These Zony characters generally have the freedom to spend drive gauge however they want in neutral, so... It could be he just likes taking guaranteed drive reversals. Okay, alright, let's look at this very short round. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so that's just, like, something that you can't do, I'm certain. Like, in this context. Like, you could have gone into a throw and gotten him to, like, do a throw tech or something, and that would have kept you safe unless he did something that countered it. But, yeah, in general, I would say not, like, just going into a strike, that's obviously a guaranteed, like, bad situation. I'm also probably, I'm not sure what the screen says it's, like, plus 14 just because of something. Because of the weird interaction. I'm sure that probably was punishable in some way. What did you do after? You did stand fierce and then that got whiff punished? Into death? That's fucked up. I'd imagine Cammy can just, I don't know, level 1, at least check with a standing heavy punch. Let's see. Yeah, another stutter. A little delay action. And he caught with the delay button. I'd love to put this exact scenario into the frame data to see exactly how delayed his button press was. Because it doesn't... I can see his inputs, but it doesn't tell me when he's coming out of block stun. The frame that he's coming out of block stun. Wait, can I show the frame meter? I can. Oh, fuck, yeah. I forgot about this. Wait, where was it? I just want to look at what his delay jab timing is. Okay. So that's the end of his block stun. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, there we go. Alright, I was suspecting, because, like, I fought some guys that have a delay jab tendency where their delay jab is, like, 5 frames after block stun ends. Like, about 4 or 5 frames after block stun ends. And I think that's, like, not consistent. So, yeah, generally, okay, if he has, like, a delay jab timing of around, like, 6, 7, 8, 9 frames, that means that he is liable, he is totally susceptible to get hit by, if you just do this, low forward into +2, if you just immediately hit Crouch Fierce specifically will blow up this. It will hit him on the frame that he does his jab. Or on the frame that he starts the startup of his jab. Which is like 7 frames later. And then is the startup, and then another additional 4 frames before the active frame comes out. So again, just doing drive rush into +2 into Crouch Fierce would just blow up this shit. Inherently. And that's been one of his most common defensive options so far. And it's like, as Cammy, you've not, like, strongly represent... That could have been level 2 in the air. I mean, it kind of looks like he second-guessed what you wanted a little bit. I think you wanted to get a level 2, but in this context, probably it wasn't necessary, and the better option would have just been to take target combo into the spiral arrow, whatever. Not burn yourself out, obviously, in hindsight. Interesting. Alright, I want to take a more, like, comprehensive view of your management of drive gauge throughout this round, because I'm, like, a lot of these matches are ending with you getting, like burnout pressured into basically almost guaranteed kills. So in these situations, so, like, here again, I'm in a situation where it's like, Cammy can regenerate drive gauge by harassing with stand heavy kick, by moving around, by just staying farther away and just, like, regenerating on his zoning, which is a thing that you can sort of do, or at least stay stable against his zoning from far away. Crouch heavy punch and stand heavy kick both regenerate a lot of drive gauge for Cammy, but the more you interact in these close ranges, the more you're liable to get little punish counters or even big punish counters here, like that. And block his normals. And his normals are way more drive gauge damage on block than his that. So yeah, the other things is that those dive kicks are more liable to lose you drive gauge than just a regular jump. Because they can get punish countered where your jump is more likely to just get counter hit anti-aired. if at all. So ever since your first drive gauge spending, you've been at 3 or a little bit below. That time he was just anticipating the jump in a precise instance. But your drive gauge is like fine, relatively speaking. This is just zoning. I disagree with this parry while the thing is over your head. That was nice. But again, yeah. You see how much drive gauge damage that little stupid fucking poke with the stick does to you on block every time? It like even just the occasional tap just like keeps you quite low and keeps you from like the constant regeneration that he's getting and that you normally get from offense with this character. So this round has been less about drive gauge and more about like the zoning. So yeah, again, I think outside of this range, you can operate with like a couple more, again, jump, shallow dive kick at a range where he can't anti-air you to mess with his sense of space or whatever. Dash from outside of his effective range into his effective range and then poke him or jump at him or something. Normal jump, again, you're leaning a little bit too heavily on dive kick, especially against someone who's clearly prepared for it and looking for it explicitly. A lot of like specific spacings he's taking to block your dive kicks and at minus frames or perfect parry them or whatever. And when he's in the corner, he's super looking for dive kick. So yeah, in these distances where you're like right here outside of his stand medium punch range, this is like jump into shallow dive kick so he can't anti-air, forward dash into stand roundhouse or stand medium kick or something, or forward dash into walk back is really effective at this particular spacing. Forward dash into forward jump at this particular spacing, etc. Forward dash into buffering crouch medium punch against whatever hurt box that he puts out to try to attack you. I would take a look in the lab at some of his buttons interactions, JP's button interactions. Oh, by the way, I understand why you're doing it, but, like, you're not, like, in these instances, you're neutral teching off of this instead of back rising, and it's letting him deal even more drive gauge damage to you after this knockdown. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to just go back to full screen. In fact, like, against zoning characters, there's ironically usually a position at full screen that's usually better for you against them than being in their effective zoning range. So yeah, off of these, I would say just back rise off this so you don't have to block this fucking heavy punch. Damn. Oh my god, I can't believe that whiffed. Damn, that sucks. Yeah, awkward. Oh, lucky. Yeah. Alright. So I would like to take another look at a couple of these scenarios in the lab really quick. First things first. Is heavy kick guaranteed drive reversible? Yeah. Okay, it is. Alright, next, let's switch this around, and then I'm going to test a couple of hitbox timing and spacing interactions. That's fine. Alright, let's try one of these. Yeah, so I did standing medium punch on reaction to the forward movement. The crouching medium punch auto buffers and it clips the hurt box on startup. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought would happen in this scenario. See? So let's try the next one. See? So stuff like that, right? Little dash from beyond effective range, more crouch medium punch. I generally think that, like, I don't know for certain, but I think that crouch medium punch is a better button than crouch medium kick against JP. Again, you could probably ask Cuongster what buttons tend to, like, tend to give him more problems. And yeah. Alright.